Our speaker today is a fellow Patriot who seized every opportunity she had and never gave up on her dreams. Graduating from Wootton in 2012, one of her fondest high school memories is playing for the varsity ice hockey team as one of the only girls on the team and winning the Maryland State Championship her freshman year. After Wootton, she went on to play ice hockey at Boston College and was named an All-American Collegiate Athlete. She is currently the second highest points leader in Boston College hockey history with 115 goals and 244 total points in her 4 years. Her hockey career continued as she was selected for the U.S. national team and won 3 world championships with Team USA in 3 consecutive years. Most recently, Most recently, she represented Maryland and the United States at the 2018 Winter Olympic Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea. The U.S. women's Olympic ice hockey team defeated Canada 3-2 in a shootout in the finals, bringing home the gold medal. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our very own Olympic gold medalist and Wootton Patriot, Haley Skarupa.
My fellow Patriots, what is up? Thank you so much for having me. It is such an honor to be here today. I can sincerely tell you, out of all the things my teammates and I have done since winning the gold medal, being on The Ellen Show, the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show, meeting Serena and Venus Williams, The Bachelor, the This Is Us cast, and attending various other amazing events, coming back to Wootton and speaking to all of you is by far what I was looking forward to the most. Because this is home, and this is where it all begins. I remember the last couple of times I was here at D.A.R. The first time was during my older brother's graduation. I was sitting up there, and I snuck a bag of marshmallows in that I ate throughout the entire ceremony. The second time, I was sitting right where you guys are, wondering what on earth I was going to make of my life, but at the same time thinking I had it all figured out. And I remember being thankful I'll never have to take another unit test or MSA again. Are MSAs even still a thing? No? Wow. Anyway, what has happened between then and now? Well, buckle up because this is about to get a little crazy. I'm going to share with all of you my story of how I became an Olympic gold medalist, as it embodies growth, failure, fear, and triumph all at once. And it is completely absurd, and I think you need to hear it. So, a little background first. I've been playing ice hockey for almost my entire life. It was 20 years ago that I fell in love with the sport, and since then, a lot of my dreams and goals have always revolved around hockey. I ended up going to Boston College for 4 years on a full athletic scholarship. We never won a national championship despite being undefeated 40-0 going into the Frozen Four championship game my senior season and being ranked the #1 team in the country for a majority of our seasons. Regardless of the outcomes, the rankings, or the scores, I loved Boston College. That school challenges you to become a better version of yourself each and every day, and I would not have made it here today without the lessons I've learned as a Boston College Eagle. Oh, I also received an amazing education and have made friends that I would consider to be family. You have all heard it before, those 4 years fly by, so do things you'll look back on and laugh about. That's obvious, though. During my years at BC, I was selected for the U.S. women's national team, and we went on to win 3 consecutive World Championship titles for Team USA. Each year entailed missing some school here and there for various training camps, evaluations, and tournaments for USA Hockey. So that meant a lot of teammates quizzing each other on buses and strength coaches proctoring tests in airport terminals. Out of college, I was drafted to the National Women's Hockey League and played a year professionally while training full-time for the national team, leading up to the U.S. Olympic team selection camp in April 2017. The top 40 players in the United States are selected to attend the Olympic trial camp in Tampa Bay, Florida. Out of those 40, they narrow it down to 23 players for the final roster after a week of strength and conditioning testing, practices, mental skills training, and games. I had been selected for and attended the 2013 trial camp for the 2014 Winter Olympics. I did not make the cut. I was young, just finished my freshman year at Boston College, and while I was upset with the result of the tryout, I knew I had a long way to go and use the experience to learn and develop, not just as a hockey player, but also as a person. That camp showed me what it would take to make it to the next level and what it would take to become an Olympian. Let me also make this clear. The Olympic team is not chosen just from this one camp. It is a culmination of years of training, constant evaluations, and a lifetime of commitment. So everything I had worked for and dreamed of my entire life and childhood appeared to be coming close to my reality leading up to this 2017 trial camp. This was my opportunity to actually make the Olympic team, and it felt so real and tangible. There were ups and downs along the way, obviously, but I had been following what I thought was my plan almost to a T until this point. I knew my spot was not solidified by any means, and there was still a lot of work to be done, but I was so close, and I had been on the team for the past 3 years since the last Olympics. So many thoughts were racing through my mind before and during this camp. So, the final cuts happened. I did not make the Olympic team. I was sent home, snap, and just like that, I had no plan, no feeling, and no idea what to do. It felt like everything I had done my whole life had been for no reason and that it almost had never even happened. So, what did I do? Well, I walked dogs for the summer. Literally, I worked for a dog walking and dog daycare company in Boston and would go to the gym every morning, run a few miles, and then walk pretty much a marathon every single day with a handful of dogs by my side keeping me company. Yep, absurd, right? I know. So, looking back on it, though, those dogs helped me a lot more than I helped them. I was interviewing for jobs, secretly hoping I wouldn't hear back because I wasn't sure if I was completely ready to move on. I didn't even really know who I was anymore. Each day as I was walking, I would think about what I could have done differently to have made that team. What went wrong? Should I just forget about it completely and remove hockey from my life as a whole? It had let me down, and I felt like I let everyone else down. It was 5 months later now, from the day that I got cut from the Olympic team, the beginning of the fall, and I was now working part-time for a video and film production company in downtown Boston. The National Women's Hockey Professional League had been contacting me throughout the summer, asking if I was interested in playing for their team in Boston, the Boston Pride. I kept saying no thank you, that I wasn't really interested and was just focusing on getting a job. However, as the season was approaching and I was talking about it to some of my former teammates and friends who were playing, I started to realize how much I missed the sport that had given me so much. An unbelievable education, travel experiences all around the world, some of my best friends, and a purpose. Hockey had given me all of this. How could I pretend it was never a part of my life? I decided to sign with the Boston Pride and plan to start the season in a few weeks or so, while also working for the production company. There was only one minor detail. I had only been on the ice once in the last 5 months, so I figured starting to skate again soon might be a good idea. Plot twist. A few days after deciding I was going to play hockey again, in early October, I remember exactly where I was, sitting on my friend Taylor's couch, when I received a phone call one evening from Reagan Carey, the director of USA Hockey. She called to invite me to fly to Tampa Bay, Florida to train with the Olympic team and play in their upcoming games. It would be a very temporary evaluation period, just for a few weeks. They had a couple of injuries and essentially needed someone to sub in. In fact, they even wanted me to sign something stating that if I went, I was not an official member of the team. I had a day and a half to decide. My first thought, do I still know how to skate? Does she know I haven't skated in almost half of a year? Why now and why me? A lot of emotions. I could write a book about this day and a half decision process, but for the sake of you all graduating sometime today, I'll spare you. I said yes. I swallowed my pride and flew down a day later. 6 a.m. flight, 3-hour bus ride to the rink with the team, 7 p.m. game. Welcome back to hockey, Haley. From then on, it was a lot of hard work, fun with my teammates who I'd missed so much, and complete confusion as to what I was doing there and why. Peaks and valleys. I was sent home a few weeks later, as I was originally told, left wondering if I would ever get invited back. Did I even do well? I guess I'll continue training and working just in case. About a month went by, and surprisingly enough, seriously, I was very surprised, I was invited back right after Thanksgiving break, this time for a real evaluation. I flew back to Florida, continued training, traveling and touring around North America with the team for games against Canada. I was in and out of the lineup throughout these games, a little frustrated, as I wasn't totally sure if I was receiving a fair opportunity and equal evaluation. I quickly understood that life is not always going to hand out fair opportunities, and that I should not only be grateful for the position I was put in, but also make the most of it. It was during this time that I truly learned a lot about myself. Growing up, I was always one of the best players on my team, played all the time, and was put out there to score goals. Now here I am, not playing that much, sometimes not even dressing for the games, losing confidence, and questioning why they ever brought me back in the first place. One day, in Edmonton, Alberta, I was told I would not be playing in the game just hours before it started, that I would be sitting in the stands watching, with zero explanation as to why. I was upset, disappointed, and a little angry. However, this was the turning point when I completely changed my outlook on this whole hockey thing. I told myself, Haley, you will stop feeling sorry for yourself. You're going to go out there and be the best teammate you can be for those around you. You are here for a reason, and it might not have anything to do with scoring goals. And if you can't always prove to be the best on the ice, you can surely prove you can always be the best off of it. From then on, I was happier. I stopped sweating the small stuff, and I learned to let go of the things I couldn't control. I realized I was a part of something much bigger than myself. And I realized building those up around me fueled my confidence as well. I served a role on that team. I served a role that was needed on that team, and I finally felt like I was bringing something to the table that was not only unique, but appreciated, and it showed. It was right before Christmas break now, and 2 people still needed to be cut from the team. We will be finding the final roster for the Olympic team any day now, and tensions are a little high. I will hurry this story along, though. After a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, literally, I find out in the last week of December that I made the 2018 U.S. Women's Olympic Hockey Team. I did it. Well, my family, friends, and teammates along the way also did it, because this was by no means just my doing. Everyone on our team had their own path to the 2018 Olympic team. Everyone has their own story. My story was a little different. I was the only one cut 3 times, only one brought back, sent home, brought back, sent home, brought back, and made it. I remember pinching myself as they were announcing the names to the final roster, thinking, is this really happening? You just cannot make this stuff up. So while all of you sit there and try to process everything I just threw at you, let me make this applicable and relevant for all of you during this time of your lives. I could stand here and say, if you get knocked down, get back up. Fall 9 times, stand up 10. But that is a lot easier said than done, and that would make me a hypocrite. I was down, very down. Didn't think I'd ever play hockey again and was given another opportunity. A terrifying one, but nonetheless, another shot to make it right and finish off what I started. Whatever you are doing next in life, you may not even know it yet, and that's okay. Just attack it. You might be scared to fail or that you won't get your desired outcome, but how will you ever know if you don't try? Courage is not about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Did I attend an Olympic ice hockey evaluation camp unsure if I fully knew how to skate? Yes, I did. Was I scared out of my mind? Yes. Does it go to show that risks are 100% worth taking as long as you are willing to put everything you have into them? Yes. So when things change and don't go your way, seriously, how are you going to respond? You all come from an amazing school with incredible teachers and staff. For real, let's give it up for our teachers and staff. Unbelievable. Wootton has given you all of the tools necessary to grab hold and run with whatever you want in life. It is now in your hands to use any adversity thrown at you to your full advantage. Let it help you to not only hope to accomplish your dreams, but to attack them. Let it help make you stronger. Let it help to prove to everyone, and most importantly, prove to yourself, that you earned it and you deserved it. You will all miss your time at Wootton. I certainly do. One of my biggest supporters throughout my high school career was Dr. Doran. Your class is particularly special because you were the last class he had the pleasure to lead. I remember him specifically telling me one day when we crossed paths in the front office after I missed a couple of days of school for a tournament and was apologizing for it. He said, "Haley, do you think you can chase your dreams from here? No. You have to go out there and get them, and we'll always be here after you do. Just keep your grades up, too." I think we can all take a page out of Dr. Doran's book. So, I wrote this speech during my 14-hour flight to South Korea for the Olympic Games. This is the point where I stopped because the story was still unfinished as we had not competed yet. So, to complete the story, as some of you may know, the 2018 U.S. Women's Olympic hockey team won the gold medal, 3-2 versus Canada in a shootout after a 20-minute overtime. Olympic champions, the greatest moment of my life, hands down. I spotted my mom and dad in the packed stands from the ice right after receiving our gold medals and waved with the biggest smile across my face. Throughout your journeys, never forget the ones who sacrificed everything for you to pursue your goals, and never forget the ones who were there for you not just during the highest of highs, but during the lowest of lows, when not many others were there. Those people are the ones you keep close and you never let go. You wouldn't be here without them. Speaking of, my best friend Olivia is also here today. Hi, Olivia, wherever you are. From kindergarten at Lakewood Elementary School to Boston College Commencement. We were in it all those years. Get yourself a best friend who will fly from Boston to Maryland for a day to watch you give a 15-minute speech. Anyway. I also still keep in touch with those dogs who I walked last summer. I try to visit them at least once a month. They have no idea, but I would not have made it here without them either. So, as I stood on the ice hugging my family, friends, and teammates with the American flag wrapped around me and gold medal hanging from my neck, I briefly took a moment and thought, what if I said no to that phone call? Or what if I didn't even answer? Taking that risk was the difference between waking up every morning wondering what could have been and waking up an Olympic champion. My path was not a conventional one, definitely not the easiest one, but boy, was it a path worth sticking with. Absolutely no regrets. And I was so excited to share my story with you guys today because I know you are all going to do it too. Probably on the first try and not the third, but hey, if it takes you 3 tries like me, at least you're keeping it exciting. I met with senior planning last month. It was so fun to be back at Wootton, and I loved how not much has changed there, not even the bell. Hearing that bell go off at the beginning and end of each class just brought back so many memories. Anyway, the senior planners came up with a great idea for me to leave all of you with a list of 5 things you should know about becoming an Olympic gold medalist. So here's what I came up with. First of all, it is the longest job interview ever, clocking in at pretty much a lifetime. For us, the Olympics isn't just every 4 years, it is every single day. Second, we're a family. Achieving anything in life is not nearly as fun alone. None of us could have won that gold medal by ourselves, and although we were competing with each other for a spot on the team, through thick and thin, we were always in it together. Third, we get nervous. Any Olympian who tells you they don't get nervous is only good at faking it. We are humans too, and we all know when it comes to sport, there is no bigger stage than the Olympic stage. Without fear, without doubt, and without obstacles, what is there for us to overcome? Fourth, we eat a lot. We train a lot, but our team can take down a buffet in record-setting time, and we are certainly not ashamed to admit it. Fifth, and final on the list, there are no guarantees. While your spot on the team is never solidified, having the confidence to keep going, knowing you will ultimately succeed, is crucial. If you ever want anyone else to believe in you, the first step is always to believe in yourself. It will be worth it, and it will pay off. So, I'll leave you with this, class of 2018. When life punches you in the face, are you just going to sit there and take it, or are you going to punch back? The rest is up to you. It is time to create your own stories. Go out there and get what's yours. Congratulations, and let's go Caps. Thank you. Should I hold this up? I brought this here for you guys today, so. Thank you.
All right, that's a bit better. Thank you, Haley, for your inspiring words. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the class of 2018, I would like to welcome all family, teachers, faculty, friends, and distinguished guests to our Wootton High School graduation. My name is Julian Levin. I have had the honor and privilege of being the class of 2018 president these past 4 years.